You ready to test your bat knowledge?
Always.
I figured.
Yeah.
That's why today we're doing something a little different.
Oh, lay it on me.
We're diving into the world of the Caped Crusader
That's always a good time.
with a quiz show that'll separate the casual fans from
Oh.
the bat fanatics.
Oh, all right. I like where this is going.
And of course, to guide us through this labyrinth of bat facts, we have our resident expert who practically lives in the Batcave of knowledge.
You know it. Someone's got to keep track of all those batarangs and utility belt gadgets, right?
Okay, enough with the bat puns.
Right. Sorry.
Are you ready for 20 true-false questions
Hit me.
that will put your Batman expertise to the ultimate test?
Bring it on. I've been studying the bat signal and I'm ready to answer the call.
All right, question 1. True or false? Batman's first encounter with Superman involved the villain Doomsday.
False. Doomsday came much later.
You're off to a great start.
Superman and Batman first met thanks to a Kryptonian criminal named Jax-Ur.
You're right. Jax-Ur, using the Riddler as a pawn, lured Superman to Gotham, setting the stage for a clash of titans. What's fascinating is how this first meeting highlights their different approaches.
Oh, absolutely. You have Superman, the alien savior, so open and trusting.
Right.
And then you have Batman, the brooding detective, always suspicious, always prepared.
Totally. Remember how Batman didn't want to work directly with Superman at first?
Yeah. He kept his distance, shared information, but was still really cautious and skeptical.
Classic Batman.
Which really says a lot about him, you know?
It wasn't until Alfred disappeared that Batman was forced to reveal his identity to Superman, trusting him enough to work together to find his loyal butler.
Oh, yeah. That was such a good story arc.
All right, question 2. True or false? Bruce Wayne's training included learning escapology from the legendary Harry Houdini.
That's a tricky one. Batman is a master escapologist, obviously, but I don't think Houdini was ever mentioned specifically as his mentor. So I'm going with false.
You are absolutely right. His mastery of escapology is well documented, but there's never been a connection made with Houdini,
Right.
which honestly just adds to the mystique.
Exactly.
Makes you wonder who else might have taught him.
There are hints here and there about other mentors, but it's never been explicitly stated.
One of those tantalizing mysteries surrounding Batman's past.
Yep.
Okay, question 3 is about the visual history of Batman. True or false? The yellow circle around the bat symbol on Batman's suit was inspired by a hallucination.
This one I know, it's true.
You nailed it.
It has to do with the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh.
Yes, one of the more bizarre and psychologically intriguing aspects of Batman's mythos. The Batman of Zur-En-Arrh emerged from Bruce's subconscious after that traumatic encounter with Professor Milo.
Right.
And guess what? This alternate Batman persona had a similar bat symbol with the yellow circle.
And it later became an iconic part of the main Batman suit.
Crazy.
It's fascinating how a hallucination, a manifestation of Bruce's deepest fears and anxieties,
Yeah.
ultimately influenced such a recognizable visual element of the Batman we know today.
It really is. Okay, question 4. True or false? Batman has a contingency plan for every member of the Justice League, including himself.
Okay, so we know he has files on all the Justice League members.
Yeah.
Detailed ones.
Of course he does. Always prepared, that's our bats.
But a contingency plan for himself, I'm gonna say false.
You are absolutely right. He meticulously keeps files on each Justice League member.
Right.
But his true contingency for himself is something else entirely.
Yeah.
And it's actually connected to what we were just talking about.
Right, you don't mean.
Yes. His contingency plan is the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh.
Wow. That is incredible. So this personality, born from a hallucination, is actually designed to take over if Bruce ever crosses a line, if he ever loses himself.
Right.
That's some serious self-awareness, albeit subconscious.
It's like a psychological failsafe, and it adds a whole new layer of complexity to his character. Okay, let's move on to the dynamic duo. Question 5. True or false? Dick Grayson, the first Robin, became Nightwing on his 18th birthday.
True. That's a pivotal moment in Dick's journey, and it shows the complicated father-son dynamic he and Bruce have.
Absolutely. Bruce, in a classic display of tough love, pushed Dick away
Yeah.
to encourage him to become more independent,
Right.
leading him to become Nightwing.
It was hard, but ultimately it was the right thing to do.
Exactly. It was a necessary step for Dick to become the hero he was meant to be.
For sure.
It shows how much Bruce cares for Dick, even if his methods are a bit unorthodox.
Yeah. He gets that true growth comes from facing challenges and forging your own identity.
All right, you're 5 for 5. Ready for round 2.
Hit me with your best shot. I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Okay, question 6 goes into one of the most tragic events in Batman's history. True or false? The death of Jason Todd, the second Robin, was orchestrated by Ra's al Ghul.
False. It was the Joker.
That's right. It was such a brutal and senseless act.
It really was.
And it really changed Batman.
It really impacted how he approaches crime fighting, for sure.
It challenged his no-kill rule.
Yeah.
And forced him to confront the very real consequences of the violence he faces every day.
It's a huge turning point for Batman.
Yeah.
He becomes a lot darker, more driven.
Okay, moving on to a different kind of foe. True or false? The Court of Owls believes that Bruce Wayne is a descendant of their founder.
Now, this one requires some thought. The Court of Owls has this really long and complicated history with the Wayne family, but I don't think they ever actually claimed that Bruce himself was a direct descendant of their founder. So I'm going to go with false.
You are on a roll. That's absolutely correct. Lincoln March, who thought he was Bruce's brother, did have a connection to the Court of Owls.
Right.
But Bruce's lineage has never been linked to their founder.
It just adds another layer of intrigue to Batman's relationship with Gotham's hidden history.
It really does.
The Court of Owls is such a cool addition to the Batman mythos. They're like this ancient, almost Lovecraftian force that has been shaping Gotham from the shadows for centuries.
Absolutely. They remind us that even Batman, with all his knowledge and resources, can't fully grasp the depths of his own city. All right, on to some family matters. True or false? Damian Wayne, Batman's son, was trained by the League of Assassins from birth.
Definitely true. Talia al Ghul, his mother, raised him in the League of Assassins, so he has a very different set of values and skills compared to the previous Robins.
You got it. His upbringing couldn't have been more different from Dick Grayson's. It created such a fascinating, often challenging dynamic between father and son, with Bruce constantly trying to guide Damian toward a more compassionate path.
It shows just how committed Batman is to his ideals.
Absolutely.
Even with Damian's lethal training and his sometimes ruthless tendencies, Bruce never gives up on him.
Yeah.
He's always trying to show him a different way.
All right, question 9 takes us into the realm of cosmic power. True or false? Batman once acquired near omnipotence by sitting on Metron's Mobius chair.
This one is true. It's a great story, too.
It is.
It really explores the seductive nature of power, even for someone like Batman.
Absolutely. Batman got access to all the knowledge and cosmic awareness of the Mobius chair.
So he basically becomes godlike.
Right.
It was fascinating to see how even Batman, with his unwavering moral code, could be tempted by absolute power.
Yeah.
And ultimately, he was corrupted by it.
Yeah.
It raises some really interesting questions about good and evil,
Right.
and whether anyone, even Batman, is immune to the corrupting influence of unlimited power.
It's definitely a story that makes you think.
Hey.
All right, last question for this round. True or false? Catwoman left Batman at the altar because she was manipulated by Bane.
Oh man, that one still hurts. And yeah, sadly, it's true.
You're right on the money. Bane, in his quest to break Batman, was playing the long game.
Oh, he was.
He knew that Selena was the key to breaking Batman's spirit.
It's rough, you know, because it shows even Batman, with all his strength,
Right.
can be hurt by emotional pain.
Exactly. Bane targeted his heart, and it worked. Okay, you've navigated that emotional minefield successfully. You're 10 for 10, ready for round 2.
Bring it on, let's go.
All right, question 11. True or false? Batman keeps shark repellent in his utility belt.
Come on, that's classic Batman. Of course it's true.
You got it?
I mean, you never know when you might need it in the sewers of Gotham.
Uh-huh, that's right.
It's such a fun nod to the 1966 Batman movie, too.
It is. But seriously, it shows how meticulous Batman is. Always prepared for anything. Okay, on to one of the biggest mysteries in the Batman universe. True or false? Batman knows the true identity of the Joker.
False. And thank goodness for that.
Absolutely.
It's one of the best mysteries in comics, and it's what makes the Joker so scary, so compelling.
The Joker's true identity, or the lack of one, is something fans debate all the time.
All the time.
It's such a clever storytelling choice. Adds to the mystery and unpredictability.
Right. He's chaos, pure anarchy. And knowing his origins might take away from that.
Exactly. The Joker is a blank slate, a reflection of our own craziness. Okay, question 13. True or false? Batman's blood type is AB negative. the rarest blood type?
I want to say true, make him extra special,
Ah,
but I think I'm going to go with false.
you are right. It turns out Batman's blood type is O negative.
So even Batman has a normal blood type. It's a good reminder that he's still human despite all his crazy training and gadgets.
It is. It's part of what makes him such a great character, right? He can bleed, just like us. Okay, on to another iconic relationship. True or false? Batman considers Superman his best friend.
True. They might be total opposites, but they totally get each other.
You nailed it. They have so much respect for each other. It's inspiring, in a way.
Totally. They balance each other out, challenge each other, and makes them both better heroes.
It's one of the best friendships in comics. It just proves that anyone can find common ground. Last question of round 3. True or false? Batman was once resurrected by a Lazarus pit.
Lazarus pits have brought back some characters we know, but I don't think Batman has ever used one, so I'm going with false.
You're on fire. That's correct. While the Lazarus pit is tempting, Batman has resisted it.
Classic Batman.
He was revived using Dionysium.
Oh, right. Which is found in Lazarus pit, but he never actually went into one. Which is so Batman, isn't it? He faces his own death, doesn't take shortcuts, makes you think about what he really believes about resurrection, especially because of all those psychological side effects.
Great point. Okay, you ready for the final round? 5 more questions stand between you and ultimate bad trivia glory.
Bring it on. I'm ready to earn that cowl of knowledge.
All right, question 16. True or false? Batman has a photographic memory.
False. He uses the memory palace technique to improve his memory. Basically, he organizes and remembers things by placing memories in specific spots within an imagined building.
That is correct. You've clearly been spending some time in your own memory palace prepping for this.
Maybe.
It's a brilliant technique, so fitting for Batman.
Yeah.
All about strategy and order and control. Even his memory reflects that.
It shows how much of Batman's brilliance comes from hard work and discipline, not just some natural talent. He trains his mind as hard as he trains his body.
All right, question 17 tackles a big part of Batman's identity. True or false? Batman has never killed anyone.
Now, this is a tough one. His no-kill rule is huge, a core part of who he is. But there are moments, especially in those older comics, where people have died because of his actions, even if it wasn't direct. So, true or false, I honestly don't know.
It's a really good answer, and it brings up how morally complicated Batman is, which makes him such a fascinating and enduring character, right? There are definitely gray areas, times where he's tested and the consequences are messy.
Exactly. It's a question fans have been debating forever. I think Batman himself struggles with it too, but it's what makes him different from the villains, even when he's tempted to go too far.
Okay, on to question 18. True or false? Batman is fluent in over 10 languages.
True, for sure.
Another point for you. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? He's a detective, a fighter, a strategist, and now a language expert. Is there anything he can't do?
Sleep, maybe?
Good one. All right, 2 more questions. True or false? Batman's favorite superhero is Green Arrow.
False. It's Superman.
Correct. Might seem like a strange pair given their personalities, but it makes sense when you look at their history. They've been through so much together, they get each other.
It's the ultimate bromance.
All right, final question. Drum roll, please. True or false? Batman's birthday is on Halloween.
Ooh, that would be perfect. But I think it's actually in February, so I'm going to say false.
You are absolutely right. Batman's birthday is February 19th.
Not as spooky as Halloween.
You got that right.
But still pretty important. It's interesting though, right? Because it's so different from his whole dark and brooding vibe. It's a reminder that there's a whole person under the mask, someone with a past and a life outside of being Batman.
Well, there you have it. 20 challenging Batman questions. And you got every single one right. A perfect score. I am so impressed.
Thanks. That was a lot of fun. Really put my bat knowledge to the test.
You've definitely earned the title of Bat Expert today. That was awesome.
Well, I told you I knew my bat stuff.
20 fantastic questions and you aced them all. I'm impressed. Even I learned a thing or two today.
There's always something new to discover with Batman. Such a cool character.
Our listeners are pretty obsessed with The Dark Knight too, so let's check out some of their theories and questions.
Sounds good. Fire away.
All right, here's a popular one. Some fans think the yellow circle around the bat symbol is more than just a design choice. They believe it's a target, making him easier to hit. What do you think?
It's interesting. I get where they're coming from. It does draw the eye, right? But I always go back to how that design element came about. The Batman of Zur-Anar.
Oh, good point.
He had a similar symbol, so maybe it's not a literal target, more of a symbolic one.
Like a representation of everything he carries.
Yeah.
All that pressure and danger.
Exactly. The weight of his mission. It shows that even Batman isn't invincible.
That's a cool way to think about it.
Hmm.
Okay, here's another one. Why doesn't Batman just kill the Joker? With all his tech and gadgets, it seems like a pretty obvious solution.
The million-dollar question. It comes back to Batman's whole moral code, something he constantly struggles with.
I mean, it would save a lot of lives, wouldn't it?
It would, but it would also mean crossing a line. Batman saw his parents murdered. That's always with him.
Right.
And it drives everything he does. He wants to stop crime, but not by becoming a killer himself.
There's always that belief in redemption, right?
Yes.
A chance for people to change.
It's a good reminder that even someone as powerful as Batman has limits. He can't always stop bad things from happening. But he can choose to fight for what he believes in, even when it's hard.
Well said. All right, everyone, keep those theories coming. And don't forget to spread the word about Comicverse Explained. Tell your friends, share it online. Let's create a community of Bat fans who want to explore the DC universe. Until next time, keep those bat signals shining.